Well, you can take your average gear cooler, you know, to pull this bearing off. Some people call it a clamshell. And that's the easy way to get those off. Now, what I'm going to talk about in this video is how to put a bearing back on. And this one comes off a Jeep Dana 35, and I'm going to show you, if you can see here, that I'm getting ready to put this pinion bearing back on. I put my clamshell puller on the back side, and I'm actually going to press this bearing back on, which is the opposite of what this tool is used for, to pull a bearing off. So I'm just going to go through here and show you how I'm doing this just for a few seconds, so you'll get the gist of it. The wrench there, the pry bar on this side. Open that up and get my turn on. Just a couple clicks at a time. If you need to, you can support that with your foot. Just your wrench around. You can hear that bearing kind of popping on there. All right, Bo Jones back here, working on this 97 Jeep Wrangler 35, Dana 35 rear end. I put some bearings on in the last video, so I'm going to show you now how to get this pinion gear back in. So we have our pinion gear, and what I've done, if you didn't see in the last video, I basically pressed this bearing back on. I used a gear puller to press it on, so if you want to see a cool trick about that, make sure you check out that video. We've got our brand new bearing on. I've got it all greased up here. I'm not sure if you've never done this before, but just packed it full of grease. And we have our crush bearing, or crush sleeve as some people say here. I've got this all lubed up and I've cleaned it really nice and got it all ready. And inside the housing, you can see that I've taken the retainer part of the bearing, and all I did here, and I was going to get this on video, but I just set it up in there and just tapped it with a really small hammer, and it kind of went just like tap, 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 just kind of around that, like that. And once it got about 80% in, it just kind of popped in. So it's in there and it's flush. And I know that once I tighten this all down, it's not going to matter anyway. It's gonna pull it all where it needs to be. So I just wanted to get this going. And next thing I'm just gonna put this this whole pinion assembly and slide this in. And on the other side is where the other sleeve's gonna be. So let's go there for a second. So you can see here the pinion coming through the front. We just need to pull that through. And I did the same thing here with this sleeve. I just kind of tapped it in flush. Then we pull this through, and then the last part of the puzzle is just going to be to take this this last bearing, which I've also packed with grease. We're just going to put it over the shaft, insert it into that sleeve. I'm going to pull that through, and then we'll place our seal in, which will go on like this. And I've also greased that up really nice. And we'll just put that here. Just press it in gently. And then probably do the same type of thing. Just kind of tap it in. Okay, so I'm going to take the drive shaft here. I'm sorry, the drive shaft. I had it tied up with these bungee cords. You want to keep this orientation the same as when you took it off, because these were fitted from the factory. And I put a little bit of grease in here, if you can see that. And I'm going to slide this back in where it goes. And then I'm going to put my caps on, like so. Screw them in. Those started. And then the other side. With these bungee cords, you want to keep this orientation the same as when you took it off, because these were fitted from the factory. And I put a little bit of grease in here, if you can see that. And then I'm going to slide this back in where it goes. And then I'm going to put my caps on, like so. Screw them in. Those started. And then the other side. And I'm going to tighten these up about 25 or 30 pounds. Okay, so we're in the Jeep. We're going to take a little test drive here. Start it up, everything's good. Dropped it down, had it in 4-wheel drive. We're going to put it up in first, and let's see what we have. That's a good sign. Everything's going. All right, here we go. Jeep on. Bo Jones out.